As you know, lately I've been doing some cooking videos, which is kind of a new thing I'm doing. So this is why I tend to make a few more videos. In this case, I'll show what today's dinner is, at the same time talk about specific topics. So today's topic, now most of you who have watched my channel know that I'll either talk about martial arts, I'll do something with the cooking, or I'll talk about the Christian faith. Now I'm fairly now I have because I'm fairly new to the Christian faith. Have about almost a year, which is not that much, but it is something that that me and my family are going to follow through. But actually, today's video is going to be different than the one yesterday. Yesterday was talking about a Bible verse that many martial artists interpret to mean self-defense. But in this case, today we're actually going to talk about a new martial art that's out there. And I wanted to get people's views and ideas. So that's why this video is live. Either way, at the end, I'm still going to upload it. So if you want to comment afterwards, you can go ahead. Now, I know most of my subscribers are martial artists. So I don't know how many of you know of the KEYSI Fighting system. Now, this is new to me, but I do want to chat about it. So if you have any knowledge of it, if you're aware of its details, feel free to comment on the video. So basically, I don't know too much about it. What I've heard about it is that it was the fighting style taught to Ben Affleck and to Christian Bale for the role of Batman. So which says that it is a fighting style for multiple opponents. Now, personally, I find that very interesting because, you know, in most cases, we can interpret that as a scenario where somebody might be getting jumped. Now, the fighting style of... You're going to hear some background noises on this since it's live. So to what I know about the fighting style, it's to fight multiple opponents. And it's not really a fighting style you would use against an expert fighter. It's mainly like the last resort. And I think that sounds really good. I've seen a few clips of it. I'll name a few channels in the future. But that fighting style kind of piqued my interest. So I did practice a few movements of it and felt, you know what? This kind of makes sense because in a fighting style, when you're fighting multiple opponents, you know, you're not going to be, it's not going to look as professional as you think. It might be a bit sloppy. If anything, you're using momentum for it. So again, those of you joining the channel, we're talking about the KEYSI Fighting system. What are your thoughts on it? Would you practice it? Personally, I don't think it's a style you'd want to master. I would think it's a fighting style that you want to incorporate to your existing fighting style. Okay, so right now we're cooking the steak. As you know, I normally keep this on low. If I want to cook a little faster, I might put it between low and medium. Here I got my leftovers. Not wanting to see them go to waste. We got the fettuccine with shrimp. And we got frozen rice, frozen fried rice. So whenever that steak's almost ready, we'll be nuking it. And again, we're live. So, but again, once this video uploads, feel free to comment either way. I still look at the comments. So personally, I feel that to what I've heard of the fighting style, it's a very good fighting style to incorporate, to add. And I guess the example I can use is jiu-jitsu. I probably would not use jiu-jitsu or judo for multiple opponents. You know, maybe an expert might go up to like 2 people, but if they're coming at you fast and hard, you know, you really don't want to turn your back on any one of them. So I think that'd be a good example of the KEYSI fighting style or just a stand-up fighting style come into play. Now, personally, maybe I'm biased on this, but I favor Muay Thai a lot. So, if I were to have a choice between any fighting style, I'd probably pick Muay Thai just because of the rigorous training they go through. Most of their training is them receiving impact, so trying to knock one of those guys down, I feel is going to be really tough. And most of the strikes are like a baseball bat swinging at you at full speed. But again, if you're gonna try out the KEYSI fighting style, then it'd be good to incorporate. But I personally would not recommend it to be your main fighting style. If you're looking to spar against professionals, I see. If you're looking to spar against professionals, I would think it's a style that would be used as a catalyst, but not your main style. Now, my style has been Kung Fu for the past 27 years, and our martial arts teacher really favored a lot of the Bruce Lee method, Jeet Kune Do, as well as he's a black belt in Wing Chun. So, a lot of the fighting style, it is stand-up, but it does incorporate that Jeet Kune Do spirit to it. So most practitioners, when they see our school spar, even though we're Kung Fu, they see more of a kickboxing style, more of a Jeet Kune Do, striking with your forward punch, striking with your forward leg, the one that's more efficient. So I feel with that type of background, trying out the KEYSI method is going to incorporate pretty well. I think the only thing I would add to my regimen would be a few judo, jiu-jitsu, or even wrestling classes for those one-on-one fights, or to subdue your opponents, because there are situations where you might have one person attack you, maybe with a knife, maybe where or any type of weapon. I do feel that judo and jiu-jitsu would be a good style. KEYSI though does incorporate these type of blocks where they do secure the defense towards the back of your neck, towards your head. I feel that the swinging aspect of the strikes give good power to the strikes when trying to defend yourself with a KEYSI method. So I'm going to be trying it out. I would say throughout these weeks. Maybe I'll upload a few videos, a few shorts of the fighting style. And we'll see where it goes. Now, I personally don't know any KEYSI teachers. I know it's, I think it was developed, I think in Germany or in Russia. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that yet, because I'm still learning the basics and the history of it. And I know it's a really modern martial art. But we'll see where it takes us, and maybe I'll have a different opinion of it once I try it out some more. All right, guys, so today's dinner is going to be sirloin steak, cooked slowly, and some fried rice. Nothing special, but something to look at while we chat. All right, guys, have a great night.